Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. This is my third box for the kit that I am doing, the Potions and Spells kit. It measures 3 1/4 by 4 3/4 by 1. And inside I have a Swedish fish, so you'll either get a Swedish fish or a Sour Patch Kid, because that's what comes in the pack. And in here, now this bunch of keychains came in 2 sizes. So if there's small ones in yours, you'll get 2, or there's large ones, and they're all different Halloween characters. Okay. So, what we need for this box, first of all, I'm using only the Potions and Spells bundle, no other dies or anything, okay? And then basically the rest of it's from my stash and the cardstock Stampin' Up, okay? So we need a piece of basic black cardstock that is 9 by 6. I cut out of basic black cardstock the cauldron, and I cut, I don't know what happened to the 4th one, but we're only using 3, but there's 4 of these little dots and the drips out of the old olive Glimmer paper. So that's from Stampin' Up too. They didn't have, you all know that by now, they didn't have they only had 2 stamp sets, but no supporting paper or embellishments, so I just used my stash. All right, so we need 2 pieces that are 3 by 3 1/4, 2 pieces that are 1/2 by 3, 2 pieces that are 3/4 by 3 1/4, and 1 piece that is 3 by 3/4. All right. Okay, this is my host code. Please put that in for any purchases under $150, not including your shipping and your tax. I would appreciate that so much. All right, and please subscribe and hit your the like button. Let me get my Simply Scored. Okay, if I failed to mention, the kit is $30 plus shipping, and you get all the supplies plus the contents. Okay, and I think most of the people had said they like when I cut the cardstock for them, and they just have to tape it up. So that's what I'll do this time again. All right, we're starting on the 9-inch side. Score at 1/2, 3 3/4, 4 3/4, and 8. Turn it to the 6-inch side and score at 1, 4 1/2, and 5 1/4. All right, we want to fold and burnish all your score lines. All right, now there is a 1/2-inch rectangle on this side, 1-inch strips here and here, and 2 3/4-inch strips at the top. And this is what we're going to be doing. All right, so let's start over here. Go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge up into that 1/2-inch rectangle. Go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the first score line and wedge. And then go to the last score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge that one. All right, so now we're going to turn it so that 1/2-inch rectangle is over here. Go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the bottom rectangle, and wedge the one that's left. Go to the next 2 score lines and cut it to the second score line. Take off the rectangle and then wedge the one that's left on the top. Okay. Okay, and then go to the last score line, cut it to the second score line, and wedge up into that 1/2 inch rectangle. Okay, now we need a corner rounder, and we're going to round the corners of these top 2 flaps. Okay, now that's what your cardstock should look like when you're done. Alright, now we need our tearing tape, and we're going to put it on what's left of that 1/2 inch rectangle next to the score line. And then I'm going to take that backing off. I flip it over, and then I fold over to meet. Alright, so this is our back here where the seam is. So keep in mind when you're closing it, do your back flap first, and then your front. Alright. Now we need our DSP, and the 2 large pieces go here and here. The 2 pieces that are 2 by 3 1/4 go on the long sides. The piece that is 3 by 3/4 goes on your bottom, and then these 1/2 inch by 3 pieces go on that bottom part of the top flap. Okay, now we're going to let that dry a minute, and we'll put together our cauldron. So I'm going to take this piece and the drips, and I will give you pieces of this Glimmer paper to cut from. And probably before that we should have stamped, but we can still do that. Alright, so I'm going to need a piece of scrap. Okay, and I'm going to be using Versamark Ink, and we're going to use the sentiment Double Double Toil and Trouble, and we're going to put it on this side down to the bottom. Okay, and then again I'm going to use some white embossing powder. Yeah, now it's stuck on the extra little bit of glue. Darn. We don't want this happening right now. Alright, and then I'm just going to get my heat gun. Alright, now we need our box, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this, and then I'm going to put this towards the bottom, about 1/8 of an inch up from the bottom of the DSP, and just center it. Alright. Then I'm going to get 2 dimensionals and put them on the 2 larger circles, bubbles actually, right? And a mini dimensional I'll put on this small one. You can just glue the small one if you want to. We're going to put the big one kind of tucked in like that, and then the medium one over there, and the small one I'm going to go just on top where right above where the fold is on the front flap there. Okay, alright, so now we would put in our candy, oops, and our keychain, And we're gonna put the top together and make 2 sets of holes. This is a 1/8 inch hole punch, but you can use whatever you want. And we need about 16 inches of ribbon, which I will send you. Which 16 inches is more than enough, so just in case you need a lot more to tie. If I could get it through. You can use 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch hole punch if you want. It does make it a little easier. And then I'm just going to tie a bow. All right. And for the final touch, I'm going to use some of my black gems. And we're going to use these ones that are kind of more clear than the black ones. And I'm going to put a large one right here. And a small one there. And maybe another large one up there. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you would like the 5 project kit, please send me an email. I won't be taking the money out until I have the kits all finished. So by the earliest next Friday, but I really don't think I'll probably be making up the kits, finishing up the kits on the weekend next week. Okay? All right. Just send me an email, sorry, with your PayPal address and your mailing address. Okay? Have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.